Hey, Kyle.
Yeah.
I was just talking to Carlos right before we hopped on. I am 4 years younger than Carlos was when we did Smooth.
Wow. That's mind-blowing.
Oh, shit. I thought he was so old.
Right?
Describe your quarantine headquarters for us.
Mine is a historic 1940s cottage, English cottage in East Nashville.
I'm here in Westchester, New York. Right now I'm in my studio in the basement. I've been spending a lot of time down here.
What does a typical day in lockdown look like for you guys?
You know, there's a lot of creativity, I think, going on.
I find like that all of a sudden, just to soothe me, I'm playing a lot more music. Like I'm relearning some of my old songs and I'm learning cover songs and stuff.
Oh,
just
for
for
sure.
fun.
Yeah, I'm like diving into like records that I've, known and loved for years too, and just like dissecting them because, like records like Dark Side of the Moon or Abbey Road, or I was listening to Rush of Blood to the Head, Coldplay's second record the other day, because you've got all this time to really figure out like what is it intrinsically about these albums that make them so great.
So where were you guys when this all got very serious? I know it happened like really fast.
What made it even a kind of a 1-2 punch in Nashville was, we had the tornado that blew through right here in East Nashville, about 1.5 miles from this house. And so everything was pretty shaken up even before the pandemic. There were a couple of shows. There was one that was a corporate thing, and there was another one that was a charity thing that were set.
You start with like, oh my God, you're not going to cancel this, are you? And then it's like, are you going to cancel this? And it's like, listen, you guys better cancel this.
Right, exactly how it was, yeah.
Rob, did you say you gave yourself a haircut?
I tried to give myself a real haircut. Like I thought if I just trim down the sides and shorten up the top a little bit, like it should be no problem at all. My wife's going to be so impressed. And I get upstairs and she walks in the room. She's like, what the did you just do to yourself?
Yeah. All your fans, they just see Lonely No More Rob, but I see Jam Magazine Orlando Rob.
So all the hairdressers out there in the world, you work miracles. You're working miracles out there. Like Kyle, man, Kyle's got no choice right now. It's either going to let it go forever or shave that right off.
Yeah, it's just a sheepdog kind of situation going on. I want to ask you why you ever would think in a million years that you would cut your own hair and nail it.
You know what? Like I started recording stuff and I was nailing that and I was editing videos and nailing that. And I was like, dude, I'm the king of quarantine. I can do anything.
There's so much nailing going on. I totally get it. You're on a roll.
So a lot of people need help right now, but Rob, I saw that you're one of the first to raise money for shelter animals specifically. Can you tell us about that?
My wife and I have had Sidewalk Angels for the last 15 or so years. We're an organization that brings critical needed funds to no-kill shelters. So we, a couple of years ago, started partnering with the Humane Society of the United States, and they wanted to do a benefit because you're talking about not just animals, but you're talking about the parents of animals. You want to make sure that these people can still take care of the animals they love and not have to put them down or give them up. I think, now more than ever, people's pets are a part of their family. And so you want to make sure that they're taken care of.
So what song of yours do you think is the best to listen to during like a scary or confusing time, like for people's pandemic playlist that I assume they're compiling?
Back to good. Let's get it back to good.
We've always had a sense of hopefulness in the music that we make. Even some of the darker songs, like they have a hopeful tinge to it, like this hope that everything's going to be okay.
After 20 years of Matchbox 20, what keeps driving you to keep bringing new music to fans and touring, especially after all this is over?
It's the fact that when we do it, we still really love it, I think is the reason why we're always going to want to go out and tour. We're always going to want to do something together. It still makes us happy when we do it. And if it didn't, that would probably be when we stopped.
In 2017, when we went out and we played the catalog, we had so much fun. We were so re-energized by seeing the reaction that people had to those songs and those albums that we made together. That like, look, man, we don't want this to go away. So we started kicking some new song ideas around. We're starting to explore, some new material.
What do you think the first shows back after quarantine are going to feel like?
I remember the first show that we did after 9/11.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking of too.
I feel it's going to be something akin to that. I mean, because that's really what it is. When you get live music, it's that sense of community. All these like-minded people coming in and sharing a moment, being on the same page for this little period of time. That's going to be amplified.
I think the enthusiasm is going to be off the charts when we get to the other side of this. I really do.
What's the best quarantine meal you've made?
I've been getting into faro is my jam right now.
Oh, I don't.
The great thing about that is you can just kind of throw anything on it and it's just always in the fridge.
Have you guys, you know what I've been getting into? Have you guys heard of this? It's called wine.
Yeah.
It is amazing, guys. I don't know where this has been, but it is my jam.